So I've been playing around with 11 Labs a little bit, and that was the first time I'd actually converted my voice or a voice into a high quality voice clone. So the other voice clones I've been doing have just been simple, like a couple of minutes of audio, whereas this one was the like high quality kind of like microphone recordings to clone a voice because I wanted to see how good they actually are now. And then if I could just create a simple pipeline to create like a podcast that I kind of want to create that would be like a supporting podcast to this one. So this is here in My Voices. I don't know if you've played around with this before, but they've got like, it's my ideal kind of like text to speech platform, mainly because they just provide quite a lot of different voices and a lot of kind of cool, it's like ASMR, British Whisper. Like they've just got a bunch of really good voices, I think. And then my voice that I clone. So when you create a kind of like a high quality professional voice clone, you need about 5 minutes worth of audio. My voice is just in here.
Yeah, the first thing I realized is how much it actually matters, like your tone and everything. If you use 5 minutes of your voice from this podcast versus 5 minutes from a different one, it probably will come out quite different. So
Yeah, so that's my voice. And then these were the recordings that I put in, and you can just sort of get up past this 30-minute. This is the voice designer kind of interface that they have. I was surprised at how easy it was. And then you can sort of optimize a couple of different components in terms of like the intonation and a bunch of different parts like that. Let's just get out of there and show you it in practice. What I actually was going to show is that they had this like redesigned kind of like studio area for these like this in their creative platform. And I came up with this, I want to launch a little like audio only podcast that's like 5 to 10 minutes long called Good Vibes. And it's basically just like an audio only kind of experience that gives people core developer and software engineering information and concepts so that they can improve their vibe coding skills. So it's super simple. And I was like, all right, well, how easy would it be and how close could you get to like a professional experience just using these tools and one of your clone voices? And actually, it was pretty impressive. It needs a bit of nuance in terms of, say, they've got this like pronunciation editor where I'd have to put in like a dictionary to say, all right, crud in capitals means crud, as in like lowercase. Otherwise, it says like CRUD and it makes no sense. Or like some of the phrasing where, yeah, it might say SQL or SQL. Like it doesn't do those conversions well. But once you build like a pretty solid dictionary like that, then the quality actually would be high enough, I think, to probably publish. So for example, all I did here was I said like, this is a podcast that I want to generate. I used Claude to actually come up with it. And I gave it basically a prompt that was just like, I'm creating a vibe coding podcast, 5 minutes worth of tips for web devs, create a script. And then I pasted like an excerpt from our podcast in terms of how we actually talk from the transcript and said, just match the syntax and the phrasing of this text when you're writing the script. It took a couple of iterations, but this is sort of like the first one that it kicked out. And then all I did was, because it's called Good Vibes, I just used their music gen tool, which is over here. And I was like, all right, I need something that sounds a little bit like the Beach Boys, because like the Beach Boys, like Good Vibrations, right? And it has a theremin in it, and it's sort of like poppy. That wasn't working as well, but like this one sort of came out. I think it was the first one that I chose, which is like, it's like poppy and, you know, I don't know. It definitely rejected it when I said, make me something like the Beach Boys. But when I put in something that was like, make me a 60s style pop song that has like, you know, is surfy kind of beach vibes with a theremin, then it did come out. And then basically I just got it to use my voice to execute on this. So if I put the audio, let's see.
that is funny. I've noticed that with like Suno as well. You can't say sound like this artist, but you can really describe that same artist and then it works just fine.
Yeah. And like I was showing you last week, I think it's the Audio Lab. There's an Audio Lab that's linked to those guys, where you can just add in a reference piece of content, like a reference piece of audio. So you're not prompting it, but you put in the reference audio and you say like 8 bars of this, please. And yeah, so this is the result. So like, it's pretty cool. It works for the most part. Once I get a dictionary in there, I can probably just set up a pipeline. There's an MCP server for this, but also you can just use the API and a template and just like punch out a bunch of these things so that, as a content creation pipeline. And the voice actually sounds pretty good. Like, I was pretty impressed with the quality of the voice output. So yeah, that's something I just wanted to show you quickly. It's like a 5-minute sort of turnaround. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Are you able to export that or the audio? Because it didn't come through. So hopefully it does on edit.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in. I'll chuck it in the edit. I'll share it with you.
These are the good vibes.
Hey there. So today we're talking about database CRUD operations, and I know what you're thinking. CRUD sounds boring as hell, but here's the thing. This is literally the foundation of every web app you'll ever build. And somehow everyone manages to screw it up. CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. That's it. 4 operations: create new records.
And then don't they have the voice training built into Riverside? Because one day I was messing with that and I created one of yours. I didn't have to do anything. I just clicked a button and it generated this whole thing in your voice. But I can't remember if they were using 11 Labs.
Just don't break into my bank account then.
Well, I didn't break in. I just opened new ones. So no worries.
Yeah, that's not a surprise in America. It's like
the banks themselves. That's kind of standard
the land
practice.
of identity theft and fraud. Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to show you, mate.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I was thinking it'd be cool. You could have, maybe we should create a challenge like that real-time audio pipeline. I think that would be the last piece. You could close the loop and have an agent that you're able to like converse with in the meeting.
Well, actually, so just on that, that's the other thing I can show you, which I have used in 11 Labs, and it is kind of cool. Let's see, screen, this one. So using those same things, they also have a similar like agent designer, which I can show you. Attach this so you can, which is, so they've got this creative platform, right? And then they've got this agents platform, but your voices are available in each place. So I created like a little agent conversation here. I created an agent, which is just a support agent with my voice. And then it's just got a really simple like prompt editing like area, the first message, and then the system prompt. And then you can actually like design a workflow. So similar to the Cloudflare thing, like sub agents that have like sub prompt, like prompts and knowledge base. So like very basic sort of thing. Over here, rearrange the nodes. That's fine. Let's save that. These are the models they have with the costs for the text, tool calling. Okay. And then you can customize the voice. So this is my voice here, the one that we just heard, and then the speed. So what I can do is I can, and then you can add eval criteria and collection of the data. So similar to the Cloudflare equivalent, like the goal, and this is just an LLM to say like, all right, the goal of this is to triage a support request. And then you can write a prompt that will evaluate everything against that and just give you a success, failure, or unknown. It's kind of like simplifying things if you want to just deploy like a voice agent into your business. And then a data collection area so that you can collect components of the data as it comes through. And then there's, creating test cases before you take it live. Like this looks pretty sweet in terms of like just a simple click and go kind of voice builder. I really want to launch one of these now. And then there's, you can set up MCP servers as well off the back of this and integrate it.
So they had zero PII. So it has some type of like guardrails built in, you said?
I assume so. Although I can't, you can end the call. Yeah, cool. So you can give it like the settings and then these are custom MCP servers. So, and then I can send it to you. So you can just click on this link and have a crack at it and then just chat to me. And then I'll be able to see it. So for example, send this to you and you can open it and have a chat. But while you do that, you can also embed this. So I can like create this and embed this on our build website and then you can just chat to me, right? And we can call you. Yeah. And then in here, you can then see previous evaluations. So here is the message count on a conversation. And I'll give you a summary. The user and the AI agent engage in somewhat unfocused conversation. This was when I asked my wife to have a conversation with me. Me as the agent. The user initially prompts the agent to do it. Hawk, say whatever you want. That's me describing that she should just say whatever she wants. And then the user expressed curiosity about 11 Labs because the default prompt was basically teaching the person about 11 Labs, and then you can see the actual transcript of each conversation. So it's pretty sick, really. And then you can
that is
play back the
super
good
cool
conversation.
So if I click, that makes it super easy. You just shared this.
And then you can import a number from Twilio or from this SIP trunk. I don't know what that is, but from Twilio. Twilio, you can just register a number pretty quickly. So then you could actually do inbound and also outbound. So they actually have an outbound caller here where you can upload batch calls into the agent, like create batches of phone numbers, push them into an agent with instruction. So it might be like, I don't know, appointment follow-ups or appointment confirmation, something like that, something simple that like a hairdresser could load up. You could, like in a small business app, you could say, confirm every appointment for the next week via a voice agent. And then it will just go into your CRM, grab that data and then push it into here and could confirm every appointment or reschedule based on the tools that it has available, which is pretty cool.
I'm going to have to play with this.
You say that about everything. But yeah, it's pretty rad.
Well, I know there's not enough time. In the moment, I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to. So it looks like you can chat. I guess, I didn't see you share what it looks like on the end user side.
I think I'll check it out up here.
I have it pulled up. I
think it's just this page. This is what it looks like here. And then you just click on it.
Yeah.
And you can chat. And that's the embed. And then you can embed that as a widget on your website as well. But yeah, I'll upload the example so you can listen to it.
Huh.
Cool, man.
So you have it open, I have it open. So you can only use it one person at a time, it looks like, maybe.
I think that might just be the share version. I don't know. I can't hear it. I can't hear the audio coming out from your side, but yeah. You're talking to two versions of me now.
4 versions of us talking. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Good show.
I think let's set that up and have an AI guest on our podcast. That would be cool.
I wonder if it'll ever get that good. I wonder if it will ever be as good as we want it to be, or how much it really it takes to make it excellent, and feel real. It definitely doesn't feel real now, but it feels good enough for some of those applications, like confirming appointments and those sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, of course, it depends on there's good enough. And then you were saying earlier about images or audio or something, like close enough isn't good. I want it this, exactly this way,
Yeah. I think the uncanny valley for these sorts of stuff is pretty wide. The best one, I think, is still OpenAI's voices. I always do voice to OpenAI on my app, just if I'm going for a walk, and that's probably the best, I think. And you can implement that in your apps using LiveKit. They're like over the top LiveKit version. Mm-hmm. So if you can replicate it, right? They're the ones I think are the best. All right, mate. Thanks.